Ready? Exercise number 12, legal matter, start. Decarbonization has entered the vocabulary of most governments and large corporates. Other than a few naysayers who are for the present holding their voice, they have all committed to a time bound net zero carbon emissions target. They are also in agreement over what needs to be done to reach that target. Fossil fuels must be steadily but inexorably replaced by clean energy. Electricity should be increasingly generated from solar and wind. Transport should switch from internal combustion engines to electric vehicles. Energy demand should be conserved and more efficiently consumed, and technology and innovation must remain the centerpiece of all activities. Unfortunately, it is not enough to simply set a time deadline and agree on the steps to be taken. Governments and corporates have also to agree on removing the legacy obstacles that lie on the pathway. Three in particular could significantly slow the pace of progress. These are poorly designed planning systems, siloed and fragmented physical and regulatory oversight mechanisms for the energy ecosystem, and the lack of investment in energy infrastructure. Two events last month will explain better the reasons for this concern. On February 7, a chunk of the Nanda Devi broke off and triggered flash floods downstream that then washed away or damaged several hydroelectrical dams and led to the loss of hundreds of lives. A few days later, on February 13, a severe cold snap crashed the electricity grid system in Texas, plunging a wide swath of the state into darkness. These two events were unrelated other than possibly by the link of climate change, but on examination of the reasons for the consequential material and human misery, they offer common insight. First, in both cases, the authorities were caught unprepared. This is despite the fact that there had been precedents. The comparably severe cold waves of 1989 and 2011 in the US, the Kedarnath floods in 2013. The planners had incorporated an emergency response procedures for cold waves and floods, but they had not anticipated such extremes of weather conditions. For instance, the Texan authorities had a worst case planning scenario built around the assumption of a 15 GW drop in generating capacity under bracket out of a total night time capacity of 70 GW bracket out. But what they eventually lost was 30 GW. One reason for this lack of preparedness could be the presumption based on historical data that such sharp shifts in natural conditions are infrequent, once in several decades, and that therefore the creation of safeguards against them is not required and may in fact invite the charge of gold plating. Whatever the reason, the lesson is that whilst the past is a useful guidepost, it is an imperfect one, especially in view of the spate of natural disasters across the world in recent times, and that planners should be cautious about their linear extrapolations. Certainly, for those contemplating the journey of decarbonization, there is little of the distant past for them to hang on to. Second, the events highlighted the cost of managing the energy value chain through a fragmented institutional and regulatory structure. The drop in temperature in Texas froze the gas wells and the pipelines upstream that then cascaded to knock out the water system and power generation capacity downstream. There was no umbrella authority with responsibility for the entire system. Further, to compound matters, the Texas electricity system was stand alone and unconnected to the other states. It could not therefore draw on the surplus power available elsewhere to mitigate the shortfall. The tragedy in Uttarakhand also reflected the cost of institutional fragmentation and lack of coordination in decision making. Stop. Thank you.